I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better, if you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents. But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around. Be careful, Mother. As if me saying that will make any difference. Knowing Mortimer, I wouldn't be surprised if he rigged his crypt with traps.
So you think the door is not enough?
Do you want to wager your other hand?
You've got a point there. We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Oh, that? That's what we come to find? The lance that a centurion stuck in the side of Christ at his crucifixion?
That's it.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not. You take care of getting the lance. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
Hang on a second.
What's the matter?
Why did you shoot Emily's sister?
Do you really think now is the right time for this?
I want to know, Mother. Why did you betray her?
Listen, Louis. I don't think you've really understood my interest in the Al-Azif. It's not just simple curiosity about some old relic.
You tried to kill her.
And I had no choice, for crying out loud. It must not fall into the hands of the demons, or we are all doomed, don't you see? Listen, I don't know exactly what it contains, but I prefer to be one step ahead. If they want it, there must be a reason. And even if I don't know what it is, I want to stop them for safety's sake, no matter what.
Nothing will stop you if I understand correctly.
Enough, Louis. If you could see the extent of their power as I do, then you would understand what I'm saying.
All right, we'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
Ma scusa, interroga il cardinale Piaggi sulla lancia. Appunti. Appunti. Devo trovare la lancia sacra. Bene, ma scusa, non posso esplorare. Adesso io esploro la cripta. Non mi interessa, io lo esploro. Bene, siamo nel capitolo 4. Ponti bruciati o ponti in fiamme, possiamo tradurlo così. Devo dire che il puzzle, quello là del dipinto di Gesù, la nascita e la crocifissione, mi ha veramente soddisfatto. Adesso speriamo di trovare una roba del genere che mi soddisfa ancora.
This sarcophagus is engraved with the name of Clemens III. Good God! The one whose cross allowed me to enter. That was the Pope from the Middle Ages who inspired the Third Crusade. He gave the Roman people the power to elect their magistrates. He was basically an anti-pope. His path to the throne was pretty turbulent, and he had to be enthroned several times. The result of a long conflict between the papacy and the Holy Empire. This sarcophagus is beautifully made, but ancient. Stone is marked by the passage of time, but it's really well preserved. Sir Johann van Volnel. It seems like he isn't here. The signs of obscurantism. Look, a blotter. And apparently it's been used recently. I wonder what Volner was going to write. It's smudged. It's not all legible. I can make out the signature though, and leave as if planned. It's illegible. Let's see if I can find a solution in Volner's things here. Given his interest in alchemy, I wouldn't be surprised if I found something that revealed what's written somewhere in his room.
Acqua di Melissa, attenzione.
Landing stage. So Volner is going to leave Al-Azif at the landing stage, isn't he?
Che mi ha dato? Hai decifrato la risposta di Volona alla lettera di Sir Graham Holmes. Interrogatorio.
What a mess. Looks like Volner was interrupted. Looks a lot like straw. And he's drawn something in a hurry on this sheet. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before. I've seen occult inscriptions like this before. They're not very common. As a matter of fact, I've only seen them once before, around the Lock of Al-Azif. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before.
Vuole Al-Azif, ma perché è così importante questo Al-Azif?
The alchemist is a young man. So, let's see what Volner has in his bookcase. Ah, damn it. Most of these works are in German. I don't understand a thing. Well, except for this one. It looks like Latin. Longini militis fabulum. Longini? Ah! What have we here? It looks like a kind of biography on Longinus the Centurion. Truly, Volner has done everything he can to get information about that lance. I'd better keep this one, though. Damn, that's all I need. Maybe he knows something about the lance.
What are you doing in my room?
Scusa, Volborg. Ma tu non eri Volborn, ma tu non eri un po' ubriaco? A me sa che l'ultima volta ero ubriaco, quello che ho visto per terra lì, sdraiato, tipo. Interrogatorio. Era debole a manipolazione, interrogatorio. Prima interrogatorio.
Well, sir, I see you have some captivating books, and you seem to be rather interested in the famous Longinus.
It's, what's it to do with you?
I overheard you speaking with Piaggi. What are you two up to exactly?
No, fine. Yes. We are looking for the Holy Lance. That imbecile has given Mortimer all the ones kept in the private collection of the Holy See. But it's not what you think. Hang on a minute. You're the one looking for the lance.
No,
Don't take me for a fool. You are looking for the Holy Lances.
Psicologia o logica? Psicologia mi sa che muore.
What's the matter? You seem completely panicked at the idea I might be interested in this relic.
No, that's not true.
What are you so afraid of?
I'm not afraid.
You know Mortimer's got it, so you're not worried that I'd give it back to him.
What are
so
you?
Why are you so terrified of me being able to find it?
You have no idea what it is you're looking for. What are you playing at, Richet? Mortimer's the one who has that cursed lance.
How long have you been looking for it?
I see. You want it, and so you plan to steal it from Mortimer.
For a long time. Isn't that right?
Why, you little swine! You're planning to give it to Sir Gregory. You're looking to double-cross me and Piaggi too.
What on earth is he talking about?
Oh. Sotterfugi, vediamo se lo freghiamo. Furtività non, di solito nessuno è immune a furtività. Etichetta.
Mr. Von Wollner, would you be so kind as to calm yourself down, please? All I'm trying to do is make amends for His Eminence's errors. Sir Gregory should surround himself with better people, if you want my opinion, but Piaggi is a friend of my mother's.
What? You want to help Piaggi?
I just told you that's what my mother would do if she was here. I heard you in the corridor, and he seemed to be in serious trouble because of the lances. I'm only trying to help him.
All right, Louis. I thought you were trying to manipulate me. But please, excuse me. I got a little bit carried away. But you can't get ahead by staying in the shadows on a case like this. There are already several of us searching for the Lance of Longinus. And it would be smarter to pool our information.
Unfortunately, I've barely made any progress. I'm still trying to find out what the original lance really looked like.
Let me reassure you, we've all been there, given the number of copies there are in existence. It also took us quite some time to discover its true shape. Many believe the central part of the head of the lance to be covered in gold, whereas, in truth, its center is made of an alloy of copper and iron.
That does make sense. In those times, a centurion wouldn't have any chance of possessing a lance made of gold.
That is the perversion of Christian idolatry. A copper lance could not have been noble enough to pierce the side of Christ.
Anyway, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Louis. Keep me posted as to your research. We're bound to end up recovering it.
I'm counting on it. See you later.
Abbiamo scoperto che Von
I
Warner
managed to get the biography of Longinus the Centurion. Let's see what it can teach me. An interesting passage here tells me that the lance is engraved with the symbol of the first Christians, the fish.
Secondo funzione la lancia è decorato con del rame. Simbolo del pesce. Beh, a quanto pare Von Warner non è stecchito per terra. Si vede che quella sera che l'ho trovato era un po' ubriaco. Vedo il servitore in lontananza.
Honey, the remedy of the gods. Torquemada. Quite the contrast. Wow. The fanatical priest who created the Inquisition. Carmelite water will give me a little reprieve. Carmelite water will give me a little reprieve. His Holiness Pope Pius VI, by Pompeo Petoni. This should help Piaggio feel at home.
Cazzo di stanza c'è sto coglione.
John the Baptist, Youth with a Ram, by Caravaggio. A very sensual vision and very far from the Amber Crystals. The Lying Girl by Boucher. The Rape of the Daughters of Lucipis by Rubens. Surprising choice for His Eminence. Love Triumphant by Caravaggio. Now there's someone for whom the sex of angels. Venus and Cupid with a Satyr by Correggio. Innocence, Indiscretion, and Lechery. Giuseppe must love that.
Amber questa.
Let's have a look at his personal papers. Of course, it's in Latin, the language of the church. All those hours of learning Latin declensions are going to pay off in the end. Mother will be proud. Now this could be interesting. Let's say assente. Various representation criteria, of which are shown the most common throughout the centuries, and in different forms. If Piaggi's notes are anything to go by, the weapon I'm looking for is shaped like a tapered spear, and that should help me identify it.
Fusolato. Che cazzo vuol dire forma fusolata? Oh, che sta mica vuoi buttarti? No,
Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You are not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I heard you speak to Mr. von Wollner about it, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about it.
That was a private conversation. How could I have known that he was listening to us?
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can.
Your Eminence, are you all right? Your Eminence, are you with me? Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
Che ha mangiato troppo? Hai mangiato troppo, amico?
His nose is bleeding.
So, you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
No, I was wondering about it myself.
Oh, Louis. It's even worse than I thought. I believe you when you say you've only come to find out more. But in that case, it means that Sarah didn't even tell you the point of it all. Because, believe me, you are looking for it. You are looking for the lance. You should know, you are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life.
Secondo, scusate, ma non era debole la manipolazione? Dov'è? Manipolazione, però non mi ha dato vulnerabilità usata, però,
His fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
Persuasione.
No, Your Eminence. I thought you'd be the only one able to help me with it.
Your words lack conviction, Louis. If I'm asking you all these things, it's...
Attenzione, oratore, vediamo. What? Aspetta, oratore. Scopre tutte le immunità e le vulnerabilità di Gregory Holm. Ma si sta parlando con Piaggi. Piaggi. Scusa, ma... Immune a interrogatorio. What the... Strano, molto strano.
For your own good, you know. You have no reason to lie to me. Imagine you find it, which I don't doubt, given how resolute you are when you've got something on your mind. Then what? What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
Ma non posso sbagliare. Se uso la logica me lo sbaglia. Proviamo.
I need it.
Why?
You won't understand.
Try me, Louis.
I need to protect myself with it.
Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out, covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
What? Ma parla come se sapesse anche lui dei demoni. Cos'è? Tutti sanno dei demoni tranne io in questa storia. Oh, cos'è tutte queste qua? Seconda informazione, Piaggio aveva detto che il punto è usato per la punta del tipo usato per la caccia al cinghiale. 300 di appunti di Piaggio che vedeva fare forma tipica di una lancia, grazie. Possibile fonte di informazione, specialisti di esoterismo, raffigurazioni artistiche, testi sacri. A quanto pare dovrò cercare un bel po', a quanto pare. Però non ho capito, cioè parlando con lui, perché ho scoperto la persuasione di Holmes.
Circe.
Perché mi domando?
Saint Longinus. Let's take a closer look at his lance. It is shaped like a leaf, like the real lance, maybe. How can I be sure?
I think this statue does represent Longinus, armed with a lance that wounded Jesus, the Holy Lance. How can I find out if this is an exact representation? There's no way of being certain of it.
No, this is too easy. Mortimer's trying to throw me off the track again. It seems too visible to be true. Impossible not to see the statue on first glance, given its size. And Mortimer has no interest in making the shape of the true lance so easy to see. Longinus is holding the Holy Lance in his left hand, and I'll bet he's holding the sponge soaked in holy blood in the other hand. Yes! Here we can see that the Holy Lance is represented in the shape of a spear. I'd better make sure I check this twice. It's a work that dates from the Renaissance. And there's nothing to say that it's not based on erroneous elements. This work is an order from Lord Mortimer. All the details have been conceived with a specific goal in mind. Upon closer examination, you can see that even the style clashes with that of most of the other works in the manor. No, if Mortimer has taken special care as the conception and the exhibition of this painting in his study, in the same way as for the nightmare painting, it must be of some significance. And that is indeed the true shape of the Holy Lance, a spear shape.
Non ho capito come ci è arrivato, perché dice perché il quadro è più strano, allora quello maggior parte vuole far vedere, vuole far deviare il pensiero, invece è questa la vera lancia. Bah.
But I believe what I read in the letter from Milan addressed to Mortimer. There's every reason to believe that this painting has been modified according to his guidelines to represent the true shape of the Holy Lance, a spear shape. There's only one way of being sure. I'll have to find other clues that will confirm this information.
The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ. The Gospel of St. John is the most detailed on the subject of the crucifixion. When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. A shimmering lance? What is this telling me?
The medieval Hermetic traditions evoked the idea of using noble materials for relics, which the monasteries often made themselves in order to attract pilgrims. Of course, they had to inspire greatness. So here, we might think of gold, whereas a centurion could not have hoped for anything better than copper at the time. The true lance would not have been a luxurious weapon. The name of the Roman soldier who killed Christ never appears in the biblical canon. Yet, it is said that he was a centurion and was called Longinus. I can see that this lance has a so-called leaf shape. It is made entirely of iron. I can see that the tip is engraved with the symbol of the sun.
Niente, praticamente adesso da tutte le informazioni che abbiamo è da dedurre che sia la lancia, quindi adesso dobbiamo girare intorno a cercare la lancia giusta. E il posto è veramente grande, ci metteremo un bel po' a quanto pare.
This one has no name. I wonder who it was for.
Fuck, c'è uno scrigni nel vuoto così. Cioè, vabbè, che è immensa sta roba. Ma che roba? Ma che sembra un'altra dimensione qua sotto. La faccia della cripta qua.
Flavius Aetius. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories. But how did he end up here? Flavius Aetius. I remember. He was the Roman general who defeated Attila and his hordes in the terrible battle of the Catalonian plains. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories. But how did he end up here? Well, here we can see this lance has a leaf shape, is gold rimmed, and a fish is engraved on the tip.
Ah. Falsa pista, gente. Qua si divide. Questa è già una forma di lancia.
This lance has got a blade in the shape of a spear. Its blade is in iron or steel, I think. I can make out a rising sun engraved on the tip.
Ah. Meno male che ho trovato un sacco di informazioni, che sennò questo con tutte queste lance.
This sarcophagus has been ravaged by time. It's sort of ageless, I guess. It's entirely sculpted. Is this the tomb of a king? Judging by all the sculpted symbols of power, this is really ancient. The inscriptions are all eroded. I don't know what those marks mean, but maybe a stone or epitaph. These symbols, these grooves, cuneiform script. This is humanity's oldest alphabet, the language of Babel. Sadly, no one today even knows how to decipher it. There's also some text engraved beneath in ancient Greek, Sargon.
Great. Honey. Well, we can see that this lance has a particular spear shape. It is coated in gold. You can distinguish the symbol of the fish engraved on the tip, barely noticeable.
Ah. Almeno questo. No, non fatevi fregare, eh. Non è fatta di oro. Oro nelle sacre testi era fatta di rame. Una lancia fatta di rame, cerco. Punta fogliata nemmeno. Via, neanche guardiamo. Cioè, vuol vedere che hanno messo la lancia in fondo alla cripta. Scommettiamo che va a finire così. Punta fogliata.
I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip.
Simbolo pesce noi cerchiamo.
I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip.
Questa è molto lancia.
I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper,
Punta per la
and
caccia
I can
cinghiale.
just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip.
La punta per la caccia al cinghiale. E ovviamente questa è fogliata, quindi.
I can see that this lance has a so-called leaf shape. It is clearly made of iron, and I can make out a sun engraved on the tip.
Porca.
The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer.
Esploratore sotterraneo. What? Esplora tutte le tombe della cripta in riduzione.
Let's see what we can find here. It's far too heavy. I'm not going to be able to do it on my own. The sarcophagus
What?
of Lord
Il
Mortimer.
sarcofago era mezzo aperto. Aspetta. Aspetta, guarda che bug, vediamo. Il sarcofago è aperto. Attenzione. Il sarcofago è aperto, senza neanche bisogno di sforzo. Questa mi sembra tanto la lancia che stiamo cercando.
The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer.
Trucchetti qua, eh?
It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription. Let's see what we
Cioè,
can
non
find
dimmi che
here.
tutti i sarcofagi sono legati a lui. Dimmi di no, vero?
It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription.
Proviamo a aprire, eh?
Let's see what we can find here.
Apriamola con la nostra forza. Vandalo, perché abbiamo aperto. Depredato la tomba di Mortimer. Mi piace questa cosa.
Great. Now let's see what's inside.
Pappareale, frammento di ambra. 2 pappareale e frammento di ambra, nient'altro.
What about this lance? It's got a spear shape. And the blade is partly made of copper. A barely visible crucifix is engraved on the blade.
What the fuck? Crocifisso. C'è di prima. È perfetto, combacia con tutto, però non ha il simbolo del pesce. Il simbolo del pesce è molto importante. Questa è foliata, tutte quelle altre che non ho visto. Questa è col simbolo di Ra. Però è molto vicino. Però l'unica è questa. Che è l'unica anche quella centrale così. Poi non ha la forma del cinghiale, no? Però è di rame e l'unica che ha il pesce, boh. Sarà questa per forza, cioè è l'unica che si avvicina alla descrizione, insomma.
I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip.
Boh,
I
sarà
must be
questa.
sure of my choice. I cannot get it wrong. Am I absolutely sure this is the one to take?
Oh, allontanati. Ste scelte. Senti, ho fatto la mia decisione. Ciappa lì, ciappa là. Infiltrato. Cos'è infiltrato? Hai scelto la lancia sacra. Occultismo e persuasione. Oddio, devo farmi tutta la strada a piedi adesso. Penso di aver fatto giusto, immagino, Anzi, spero di aver fatto giusto, perché sennò